was 1964, and I was about 17, or I just turned 19. And I got a call for a gig. And he told me he had the gig of a lifetime for me. It was going to be on a Saturday afternoon. As a matter of fact, the next Saturday coming up. Actually, the gig was actually going to be even in Jersey. So I said, well, I don't have a car. He said, come to my car lot before the gig and I'll loan you a car. So that Saturday morning, I went to New Power Conservatory and picked up my accordion and walked over to the used car lot and realized I should go over first and meet Dick Kenny. And I knocked on his door. It was a row house. And it was a modest row house, but this very suave-looking guy with blonde hair and big teeth answered the door with a deep voice. Hello, I'm Dick Kenny. And he introduced me to his girlfriend or his wife or whoever it was. And so he said, okay, Bill, let's go to the gig, but first we have to go around the corner to get the contract from my father. And so we walked around the corner in another row house, and his father was sitting in a dark living room in a rocking chair. And he gave the contract to his son and a few bits of advice. And then he called me over and sat me down and said, son, tell me of your experience. I used the term jobbing around. I said, I've been jobbing around since I was 14. And he said, are you good enough to work with this band? And he said, you'll never work with a better band in your life. I mean, he warned me. He threatened me basically that this might be out of my league. And so I said, I will try my best, sir. And we left it at that. Next step was to meet at the used car lot where I was picking up the car. And so I walked over there with the accordion, and sure enough, a used car was waiting for me, a 57 DeSoto with these huge fins. Dick Kenny pulls up in a Corvette Stingray, him and his girlfriend and wife. And he said, follow me to the gig. He says, but you'll never be able to keep up with me. And he took off like a bat out of hell. 2 seconds into the car, I realized that Vince gave me a car with no brakes. You know, I mean, really bad brakes. It took me a half a block to slow down the car. And the guy is going like 80 miles an hour. And I'm just trying to see his taillight from a distance. And somehow, edging in and out of the different cars, that I'm happy to report I didn't hit. And the brakes on the car going the whole time. We managed to get to the gig. I still don't know how, but we did. I expected it to be a really, really, really elegant place, like in the sense I was told it was going to be. It was a diner, and we were in a basement. But okay, and we were getting $15 a piece. It was pretty much average, pretty much what I got. A drummer who was younger than me, who prided himself on being a jazz musician. He was kind of saying that he doesn't normally lower himself to play these kind of gigs like club gigs. And he had an attitude, which Dick Kenny, the leader, immediately picked up on and proceeded to tell him that we weren't getting $15 a piece, we were getting $15 for the group, just to psych him out. And the kid just totally freaked. And the bass player seemed like a nice guy, but I could tell just by the way he was plugging and tuning up his bass that he really couldn't play very well. I found out within a minute I was the only one who could play tunes. Club big type tunes like Satin Doll and things of that nature. Dick Kenny prided himself in being a sax player. He just about honked out 2 notes. I'm working really, really, really hard the first set, just trying to get through songs. And just keeping a beat. And then whenever we played a twist number, which we were still doing back in '64, he would go into the audience and get his girlfriend or his wife, and they would start twisting. And he would go, he'd be bouncing around, very stiff, with his big teeth going, and she'd do the same. 4 hours of this, 40 minutes and I think 50 minutes and 10 off, trying to get through tunes. And he kept saying, this is music by Dick Kenny. We got to the gig was over, and Dick Kenny at the end told the kid, that, you know, the poor kid who had an attitude through the 4-hour gig thinking he was only going to get like $3. He told him at the end he was just joking, he's getting 15. The kid got angrier. And we almost had to hold the kid down. He was going to go after Dick Kenny. And that was a Saturday afternoon in 1964.
He really did find Jesus all on a Saturday night. He wanted to rectify his sins. He wanted to do right. Santa got the best of him.
His humor's got the rest of him.
He never got it right. He saw it black and white.
In the midst of things, he opened the wrong door. He never got it right. Black and white.
Yeah.